Are you looking for an in-depth guide / tutorial on how to defeat the boss Trobbio of Act 2 in Silksong? Or how about a full run of the fight with no commentary? Well, you've come to the right place because we here at Direct Gaming have the perfect guide for you. This video will cover the following. First, let's take a quick look at what I'm bringing into the battle, like crests, items attached, and so on. Then we're going to cover how the boss moves around, the attacks to look out for, and of course, how to counter each one. Then finally, a full run of the boss fight sped up a tad to show you how to use everything you have learned in real time. Timestamps below for each section. Let's get started. In terms of what I personally brought to the fight, here's how I filled out my crest. Going with the Reaper crest, which allows me to get more silk when I heal. I have the Flit Slate, which allows me to apply fire to my needle for extra damage. Fractured Mask, which basically gives me an extra health token. Druid's Eye, which gives me more silk as I take damage, threefold pin for my R1 and up ability, and finally Thread Storm to cover all the space around me if I need to get out of a tough situation. If you've gone with a different path or collected more items than we currently have right here, please feel free to use whatever works best for you, and of course leave your comments down below on how you approach this boss fight. This is simply what I went with personally. I do recommend the Reaper crest though if you find you tend to heal a lot during battles and are running low on silk. It also helps with its down attack when jumping over enemies, which is a nice bonus. This crest can help a lot with most fights up to this point in this game, but with our loadouts and equipment done, let's get on to the boss fight itself. Okay, so when it comes to Mr. Trobbio, there are technically 2 phases to the fight, but you will probably stun the boss around 4 times. So whichever visual checkpoint you wish to use, just remember that simply stunning the boss does not mean his attacks are changing just yet. The actual moment you see here on screen signals that the boss's attacks will be upgraded / changing. So let's break this down. Mr. Trobbio has 3 main attacks. The first is a triple firework ball attack that will bounce around and then shoot out either horizontal or vertical steam and then explode. If just the ball touches you, it will do 2 health tokens of damage to you. From what I've seen also for some other B-roll of other videos, you can hit the balls away from you, but you're going to need some good timing here, and I wasn't able to really get this down, so I personally just moved out of the way to avoid all damage. The second attack is a spinning tornado attack where the boss will move across the entire stage in one direction, then bounce off the wall to move in the other direction just a bit before finishing up with sending 2 tornado attacks out from each of his sides. Keep in mind, these will curve up after about a second or so after being thrown out. I find the easiest way to not only avoid damage, but to also counterattack the boss here is to jump over him, and as he's coming under you, use your attack and down to hit the boss. Now, if you're good with pogoing, aka staying up in the air and continuing to bounce off the opponent again and again, you can actually catch the boss on its return trip and then get 2 or 3 hits as he throws the other tornado attacks out at you. A quick note to keep in mind also is that the boss can use this attack when he's in the air. You happen to see him flying around, don't think the tornado is not in his rulebook. He will use it sometimes, so keep that in mind here. This is also why I do not recommend jumping every single chance to try and get a counterattack, because you could become face to face with the tornado. The final attack is a bunch of fireworks. When the boss goes into the air with his wings out, you'll see an outline of some fireworks. As you'd expect, if you're in the area that the fireworks are going to go off, bye-bye to your health tokens. So simply get out of the way and continue the fight. The final thing to note for phase 1 is not really a new attack, but the boss will sometimes disappear under the stage and move around. When you see the floorboards stop, 2 things will happen. Either A, more firework balls will be thrown out, or the boss will reappear. Best advice is to simply stay away from the spot when you see it about to open up, and then counter as best as you can depending on what happens. If you see the firework balls, move around, or if you're good enough, hit them away. Or if you see the boss, then go for a counterattack. Now, when it comes to attacking the boss, the tornado attack is definitely your best bet to get multiple hits on said boss. Another chance is with the multi-firework attack, if the affected area works in your favor though. This is not 100%, but if you happen to have a moment where the boss sends out a bunch of fireworks and you and him are within the same area and no attack is going to hit you, this is a chance to get 2 to good 3 hits on the boss, no problem. This is also where I use the Flit Slate to coat my needle in fire to do more damage. I even use this right as the boss fight starts, so just like you're seeing here on screen, take advantage of it if you possibly can. As you continue to fight, eventually you will stun the boss a couple of times, allowing you to get even more damage done. When you see the boss do this right here on stage, this means it's time for phase 2. So let's take a look at what's been upgraded / changed. The first new attack you will probably notice is the understage attack. Now, the one that we mentioned beforehand in phase 1 is still being used, but there is a new version with all the extra fireworks and flare. Gaps in the floor will have smoke shoot up before exploding all over the stage. The final one is where the boss will re-emerge. This is not a good moment to counter the boss, as he usually flies into the air as he re-emerges onto the stage. The next move is the bouncing firework balls. Instead of 3 this time, however, though, the boss will start throwing about 6 of them out to really throw you off your game. This, combined with the increased speed of the boss himself and the moves that he uses, is really going to make you stay on your toes as you're dashing around and trying to hit him for more damage. Other than that, though, there are no new moves when it comes to this particular boss fight, unless you count old moves being thrown out right after the other to simply trip you up that I mentioned beforehand. The biggest thing that can be a pain with this boss is just simply how quick he can be with the tornado attack. Plus, when everything does 2 health tokens worth of damage to you, it's why I highly recommend the Fractured Mask to get that extra hit that you can avoid this. Other than that, though, keep up the attacks until you finally take the boss down and watch his final performance. Now, here's a full run of the boss fight sped up a tad to show you how to use everything you have learned in real time. If you're finding it challenging, try a couple of runs to simply learn the timing of the attacks and how to best move around the arena. It's okay if this takes a few tries. If you enjoyed the guides, then a like on the video shows us that you enjoy this type of content, and don't forget to check out our other Silksong guides and content, along with our other videos in the top right corner and pinned comment. Thanks for watching the video. I've been Talon with Direct Gaming. I hope you have a great day and week, and I hope to see you all in our next video or in our live streams. We enjoy getting to chat with everyone on Friday who stops by. Until next time, though, John A.
Ooh.